We are in my purse closet. I made a little room for them in my house. My favorite row definitely would have to be the Hermes row.
The bag may say made in Italy, but it's quite possible that only the clasp was attached in Italy. The rest of the bag was made in China.
I love this bag. This actually was one of my very first Birkin bag because it's the So Black edition and they're really rare, and these bags are great investments.
Luxury bags carefully handcrafted in China. Turns out your quote-unquote made in Italy luxury handbag might have more ties to Chinese factories than to Tuscany.
The one that I think is like the most unique and cool is definitely the Dalmatian. I think it's really beautiful. Courtney gave me this, which I think is super cute.
More than 80% of the luxury bags in the world are made in China.
This one here is really special. If my house is on fire, I would take this one out of all of them.
This Birkin bag at Hermes boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. One piece of Togo leather, the same leather as this one, will cost 450 USD. And one piece of the leather is only enough to make one Birkin.
Feels like it's a waste of my breath because I think with me it's just never gonna change, but it's just been.
The luxury dream might be cracking, and Kylie Jenner may have just thrown the first punch. In a world where a $20,000 handbag is seen as a status symbol and $1,500 sandals scream exclusivity, one viral TikTok is pulling back the curtain. The fantasy we've been sold? Turns out it might be just that, a fantasy.
Do you know how much one of these bags costs at boutique? Let me tell you, 30,000 USD. And do you know how much it costs from us? If you buy from us, only less than 1/10 of its price. And we use exactly the same leather, same hardware, same thread, anything exactly the same.
Behind the champagne toasts at launch parties and velvet rope storefronts, there's a not-so-glamorous truth unraveling. Influencers, industry insiders, and even factory workers are dropping bombshells, suggesting that your favorite Made in France labels might have never even left a warehouse in Asia. And just when things were reaching a boiling point, boom, Kylie Jenner steps in. No press release, no slick ad campaign, just a single off-the-cuff comment. Raw, unfiltered. And in that moment, the entire luxury narrative got flipped on its head. Ready for the full story? It gets even messier.
I'm surprised you didn't know all these luxury brands actually produce in small Chinese factories, mostly in Guangdong province. They simply just slap the label to it after productions. These designer bags, clothes, shirts, shoes, the production cost is maybe $7 to $8, maybe even lower. But with that logo, suddenly it rank up to over 1,000, sometimes even tens of thousands. Their profit margins are crazy.
So what's really happening behind the scenes of this $380 billion high fashion empire? And why are even A-list celebrities beginning to raise their eyebrows? Hang tight, because what you're about to hear might just change how you look at every so-called luxury item in your closet. Like so many modern day exposés, it all started quietly with a TikTok. No flashy edits, no dramatic background music, just a short raw clip recorded by a Chinese factory worker. A few minutes long, but explosive in impact.
Pure and the craftsmanship are basically the same because they all come the same production line. See, this is why people come to China and looking for the OEM factory because they just can get the cheapest and best quality product from there and sell you, I don't know how much.
In the video, the worker calmly drops a bombshell. Some of the world's most elite fashion brands, yes, names like Hermes, Gucci, Chanel, Prada, and Fendi, aren't crafting their goods in those glamorous Parisian ateliers you see in promo videos. Instead, they're allegedly being produced right alongside knockoffs, in the same factories, same materials, same stitches, same hands. The only real difference? One gets a logo and a 5-figure price tag, the other gets dismissed as a fake.
Take a look at my wife's bracelets, 房客亚宝. It costs her almost 10K. I think the actual cost may be just around $50. In fact, most of Chinese people know these items only cost pennies to make.
But here's where it really starts to unravel. The footage didn't just show assembly, it exposed deception. Items were clearly being stamped with Made in France labels, only to be boxed up and shipped straight to luxury flagships around the world, all while being manufactured on mass production lines nowhere near Europe. That one video triggered a domino effect. More factory workers came forward, more behind-the-scenes clips surfaced. Rows of bags lined up on conveyor belts, tags being stitched stitched in like clockwork, logos slapped on by the dozen. The aura of artisan exclusivity gone in an instant. The internet exploded. Millions of views, tens of thousands of comments. And what really hit home? People began comparing their so-called authentic Hermes bags with far cheaper lookalikes and couldn't spot a difference. Stitch for stitch, they looked identical.
This isn't just a collection of bags, it's a scoreboard, and they represent milestones and decisions that I made. Let me show you this bag right here. This is actually my first designer bag.
More than 80% of the luxury bags in the world are made in China.
Chanel is an expensive bitch, okay? Chanel is someone who gave herself permission to win. When I went in to purchase this bag, it took me 25 years. Not because I didn't have $5,000, because it took me 25 years to give myself permission to buy this. It took me 25 years to feel worthy of this thing.
450 USD.
It wasn't just a minor leak. It was a full-scale fashion expose. And just when the scandal couldn't get any bigger, Kylie Jenner did something no one expected. She weighed in, not in a calculated PR post, but in the comments of one of those viral TikToks, the one showing a factory worker quietly stitching handbags. Suddenly, the biggest names in luxury weren't just under fire. They were under a microscope. Kylie didn't tiptoe around it. She went straight for the jugular. Her comment was short, sharp, and impossible to ignore. Hermes should just show videos of how everything is made to clear it up. If they weren't hiding anything, it wouldn't be hard to just show us how it's made. Coming from anyone else, it might have flown under the radar. But this was Kylie Jenner, an icon of modern luxury, someone whose wardrobe practically advertises high fashion. And yet, here she was, firing a direct shot at the very brands she's helped glorify. It hit like a shockwave. This wasn't a random shopper venting online. This was one of luxury's most recognizable faces calling out the system. And people had opinions. Some fans praised her boldness, saying it was about time someone with influence spoke up, but others weren't buying it. You show off Hermes every other day. Now you've got a problem? The critics asked. Still, love her or hate her, Kylie's words did what countless viral videos couldn't. They pierced the bubble. Just like that, the online whispers turned into a roar.
Let's start with this lovely gentleman, who, as you can imagine, is holding a Hermes bag. What he reveals is that they manufacture 85% of this and then send it to Italy or various other places. They put the logo and stamps and everything else on there and say it's from Italy. And he reveals everything and then goes and says, this bag that is now sold in the USA for $30,000 is made for $2,000.
You're like me and you've been seeing nothing but Chinese sellers on your For You page for the last 2 days. It's starting to make you wonder, are DHgate bags the actual dupe, or have these luxury brands been duping us this entire time?
The luxury industry couldn't ignore it anymore. If even Kylie Jenner, the face of opulence, was starting to question the authenticity of luxury, what chance did the rest of us really have? But here's the thing. Luxury fashion was already showing cracks. This isn't just about handbags and belts. It's a $380 billion global empire. And lately, the shine has been wearing off. In 2024, the industry recorded a 2% dip. Sounds minor, right? But in the world of high fashion, that's a blaring siren. And the most alarming numbers? They came from China, a country that once accounted for nearly half of all luxury sales, now down to just 12%. That's not a slump, it's a free fall. The shift is generational. Gen Z and young elites, who once lined up for European prestige, are ditching the labels. Instead, they're championing homegrown designers, offering the same level of craftsmanship without the inflated price tags or the illusion of exclusivity. And now, with TikTok peeling back the curtain, what was once a slow decline is turning into a full-blown nosedive. The era of blind loyalty to logos? It's fading, fast. These videos didn't just spill a secret, they sparked a wildfire. And the luxury world? It's scrambling to contain the flames.
I have a friend who's a manager in the factory of Louis Vuitton, and he told me that a similar quality one just needs $50 US.
Does anybody have the Louis Vuitton from China and a Louis Vuitton that they got at the designer store? Because I need to see a side-by-side. I have to know if there's any discrepancies or any differences, or is it the exact same thing? Because I'm starting to feel ripped the fuck off right now. I got a closet full of this shit that I paid thousands for, and you're telling me it's all been made in China and I could have just gone straight to China and gotten this shit? It just can't be the same.
If you've stepped into a Hermes boutique recently, you've probably felt it. Something's off. The buzz? Gone. The velvet rope lines, the watchful security, the clinking of champagne flutes welcoming VIP clients, replaced by silence, empty showrooms, quiet corners, and racks of untouched handbags just sitting there. TikTok and Reddit users have been documenting it in real time. Videos from cities like Paris, Tokyo, and New York all tell the same eerie story. Hermes boutiques that once had months-long wait lists now resemble high-end ghost towns. And behind the scenes, insiders are whispering, Hermes is quietly easing up the rules. The once mythical Birkin bag, a status symbol you use to practically audition for by spending thousands on perfumes, scarves, and belts, is now being handed to first-time shoppers. No spend history, no games, no wait list, no hoops to jump through.
You walk into Hermes and say, hey, I want to buy one of these. You know what they say to you? No, we don't have them. First of all, you have to be Hermes customers. You have to demonstrate that you like the brand. And then you can only buy one per year.
Of Hermes products are made in China. Towels are from Furi in Shandong. They also make products for Chanel and IKEA. Beddings are from Yue in Shandong. Men's shoes are from Shachi in Shandong. Tableware are from Gaochun in Jiangsu.
What was once the most coveted item in luxury fashion has become just another purchase. And that shift? It could be fatal. Because the allure of Hermes was never just the bag. It was the chase. You didn't just walk in and buy a Birkin. You had to earn it, spend thousands on other items, build a relationship with a sales associate, prove your worth. That was the real status symbol. Now, that mystique has vanished. And with it, the magic. Suddenly, dropping 5 figures on a handbag doesn't feel like stepping into an exclusive club. It feels like buying into a crumbling illusion. Customers are waking up. The viral videos, the factory footage, the empty boutiques, it's all chipped away at the brand's once impenetrable image.
It's the Chinese supply behind product. Bags are from Siton Handbag in Dongguan City, Guangdong Province. It's a factory specializing in handbags for 54 years, and it produces 80% of the world luxury bags.
Kylie Jenner is wearing a fake Louis Vuitton fanny pack and she didn't know it.
So how is Hermes responding? The classic play from the old luxury handbook, raise the prices. Starting May 1st, they're rolling out a major price hike across multiple product lines, hoping that higher price tags might restore some of the prestige they've lost. But in today's economy, and with trust already cracking, will that strategy work or just speed up the downfall? On paper, Hermes claims the price hike is about growth, adapting to global markets, inflation, all the usual buzzwords. But let's be real, everyone sees through it. This isn't strategy, it's damage control. Fewer people are buying, so raising prices becomes a last-ditch effort to keep the illusion of exclusivity alive. It's a signal to the world. We're still elite, we're still untouchable. But in 2025, that playbook doesn't work like it used to. Today's shoppers are sharper. They scroll, they research, they question. And the second news of the price hike dropped, social media lit up. The backlash was instant and brutal. You want me to pay more for something I just saw being stitched in a factory on TikTok? That wasn't just a viral comment. It was a collective sentiment. This isn't growth, it's panic in disguise, prestige on life support, and perhaps most damning of all, even longtime loyalists, people who once waited years for a Birkin, are starting to ask a dangerous question. Is it even worth it anymore? With resale markets flooded and demand slipping, reality is hitting hard. These bags may not even hold their value anymore. What used to be a guaranteed investment is now looking more like an expensive risk. And the question that once felt too bold to ask? Now, it's echoing across the internet. Is Hermes just another overpriced scam? When the brand tried to quietly move past the controversy, hoping the noise would fade, the internet did the exact opposite. It turned the volume all the way up. This isn't just a PR mess. It's a cultural turning point. Reddit threads are blowing up. TikTok is packed with stitch reactions and takedowns. Luxury forums are buzzing with brutal honesty. Titles like The Hermes Scam, Birkin Lies, and Luxury Isn't Luxury Anymore are trending, and leading the charge? Gen Z and millennials, the same generations that once worshipped designer labels. Now they're flipping the script, questioning everything, and calling out the fashion giants who thought they were untouchable. The rebellion has begun. And this time, it's personal. They're not just calling out marketing tricks. They're going after the entire idea of luxury itself. And right now, Hermes is right in the crosshairs. Social media is blowing up with side-by-side photos comparing those supposedly rare bags to ones you can snag on AliExpress for a fraction of the price. And it doesn't stop there. People are dragging influencers for hyping up these overpriced bags, hinting they're made in the exact same factories as the knockoffs. Even the die-hard collectors are turning. One viral post hit hard. I used to think owning a Birkin meant something. Now it just feels like I got played. This isn't just a backlash against Hermes. It's a bigger wake-up call. People are realizing they've been sold a dream that's starting to crack under the spotlight. And once the celebrities start piling on, that's when the fallout hits a whole new level. No brand survives a cultural collapse when the A-listers walk away. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Kylie Jenner's comment wasn't just a casual remark, it was a cultural mic drop. She didn't outright bash Hermes. No, she did something even more powerful. She made them irrelevant. Because when Kylie Jenner, a billionaire who's practically built her image flaunting luxury, says she's done with Hermes, that sends a message. It tells her hundreds of millions of fans, you don't need this to feel valuable anymore. And just like that, the ripple effect hit instantly. Then came the domino effect. Other influencers followed Kylie's lead. Some quietly wiped their Hermes bags from their feeds, while others went public, listing theirs for sale and making it crystal clear why. It's not luxury anymore. It's just marketing, they said. And suddenly, the resale market shifted. Prices started to dip. That air of scarcity, it vanished. With more celebrities staying silent or subtly signaling their own disapproval, the once untouchable brand started to feel touchable. Kylie didn't just spark a trend. She turned a fashion symbol into a cautionary tale. But here's the real question. What happens next for Hermes? Because if you think this is rock bottom, you might want to buckle up. Hermes hasn't just been selling handbags for decades. It's been selling a lifestyle, a world built on silence, secrecy, and status. But now, that carefully built wall is starting to crumble. And the question isn't if Hermes is in trouble anymore. It's how they're going to survive it. Can Hermes pull off a reinvention? Or is the brand too locked into an old school definition of luxury to keep up? Because here's the truth. The luxury game is changing. Today's buyers aren't just chasing exclusivity. They're demanding transparency, authenticity, and ethics. They want to know who made their bag, where it was made, and why it's worth the price. And Hermes, for all its heritage and prestige, it's stayed silent on those questions. Even worse, the competition's catching up. Quiet luxury brands, focused on real craftsmanship and slow, intentional production, are rising fast. Those quiet luxury brands, they're winning over the very consumers Hermes once had in the palm of its hand. And with social media moving trends faster than any Paris runway, Hermes is starting to feel slow, outdated, vulnerable. For decades, Hermes told the world it was different, better, rarer. But after everything we've seen, the relentless price hikes, the leaked factory photos, the influencer backlash, the truth is impossible to ignore. Hermes is just another brand pretending to be something it's not. And now, with the internet watching and the world talking, their next move could decide everything. So let's take a step back. A brand built on mystery, control, and luxury is now facing its loudest reckoning yet. And even the factory workers, they're the ones pulling back the curtain, exposing the secrets Hermes never wanted out. Stores are sitting empty. Prices keep climbing while demand quietly slips away. And Kylie Jenner, the queen of luxury influence, has officially stepped back from the brand that built its entire image on exclusivity. This question mark, this is the nightmare scenario, because luxury only works if people believe in it. And once that illusion cracks, it's almost impossible to piece it back together. The Hermes story isn't just another luxury scandal. It's a warning, a sign that the old rules of fashion and wealth are being rewritten right now in 2025. Status doesn't sell anymore. Truth does. So here's the real question. If Kylie's out, if the mystery is gone, and if the products aren't truly rare, would you still spend $20,000 on an Hermes bag? Or maybe it's time we all admit the obvious. We've been sold a dream, and now it's finally time to wake up. Let us know what you think in the comments, because this conversation is just getting started. And if you're ready for more raw, unfiltered celebrity news and luxury deep dives, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a drop. We've got more exposés coming your way, and trust me, you're going to want to be here for it.